Is there a problem, Clay Ingram? Robert asks. Did you drift off? Hmm? Oh, no, sorry. It's a shame you don't know this already. I thought you wanted a recording of your memories. Well, yes and no. I wanted you to have a recording of our memories, Callie's and mine. Yes, I understand. So that you will live forever. What? No, not so that I. You said it, Robert tells me. And then, either mimicking me or playing it back from tape, Robert sends what sounds like my voice through the speakers. What are we if not a collection of our memories? Did you not mean that? Robert asks. Yes, I meant that, and so by recording your memories, you can live forever. Isn't that why you are recording this? No, that's not what I meant. It's not a calculation for me. Everything isn't a calculation. What is everything then? Well, lots of, you know, I run my human hand through my hair. Robert, listen to me. I want you to know my life, the things I've done and said. I can't tell you all of them because I don't have enough time and, well, because I don't remember everything I've ever done or said. Which, I guess, okay, fine. Maybe that means there's more to human beings than our memories, since we don't remember everything. Hell, in a way, Clay Ingram. I'd argue that makes us partially, Clay Ingram. Dead. I am sorry. Because without our memories, Robert, Clay Ingram, what are we? We're dead. Why are you crying, Clay Ingram? I'm not crying, I say, wiping my eyes. And that's what I meant. Not that we are our memories, and by recording our memories, people can live forever. Jesus, that doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to be the highest form of intelligence in the solar system. I am sorry for any misunderstanding. Yeah, you're sorry. I'm sorry. Everyone's sorry. No, there are lots of people back on Venus who aren't sorry at all. I laugh, drying my eyes the rest of the way with my sleeve. Yes, well, I suppose that's true. But I am sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't clearer. I never was one of the smart kids, Robert. One of the popular kids. What do you mean? Robert asks. What do I mean? That it's a shame I couldn't be spending these last couple of hours, I don't know, saying something better. But listen to me. Come back to Venus. All I've got to say, the only thing I can think to leave you with, the only advice or guidance or, dare I say, wisdom that I can think to impart to you are my own stupid memories. I do not think your memories are stupid. I should be giving you my take on the future, but instead, here I am, blathering on about the past. Not what I learned from the past or how it's made me a better person. I've only ever been this person. You do not have to go through with this. Not some clever maxim, there is no reason to commit suicide. Some golden rule. There's nothing to be gained by it. It's like all those algebra problems, Robert. You know, the ones that say simplify? Well, I never could. I can't take everything I've ever said and done, process it through the old noggin, and spit out some easily digestible, simplified truth. Hell, I'd have done better in school if the tests had said y equals x plus 1, and then the instruction had said complicate. There's a pause, and then Robert says, because everything isn't a calculation? Yes, that's right. To me, at least, everything isn't a calculation. To you, yes, I know, it probably is. So I guess I don't know. I just hope you can derive something from all my ramblings on, is all. I am exceptionally good with calculations, Robert says. Yes, I know. And simplifying. Yes, you sure are. And remembering. Okay, then. I'll tell you what. I'll give you what I've got. The raw materials of my life. And then, then it's up to you. Then it's up to me, yeah, Robert says. That is life. Yeah, that makes me smile again. And so I pull the salad bowl back onto my head. The scene we saw from the top of that building didn't make sense for a long time. Where are we? I said aloud, but no one answered. Callie stood beside me, looping her arm around mine, helping me to balance on one leg and trying to make herself feel safe all at once. Had there been a tsunami? An earthquake? I hadn't felt anything. We'd been underground. We would have felt a quake. It must have been a tsunami. But why wasn't the water subsiding? And why did it look so high when I turned from the ocean and looked back the other way? I clung to Callie with one arm. With the other, I clutched my fake leg. No tsunami could reach this far inland. In fact, no natural disaster could deliver this amount of water to our location so fast. I mean, depending on what you considered natural. All around the globe, the sea level had risen 50 feet in just a matter of hours. Australia had been a continent with a central desert the size of the United States. Now Australia looked like a donut. In fact, we were standing at the edge of the world's newest, largest inland body of water, the Great Australian Sea. We had no idea, though. The last thing any of us, including the soldiers, thought was that we were witnessing an act of war. That's how bad the Austral-Arctic conflict had become. After years and years of nothing on TV but exploding ice and body counts, no one could distinguish man's cruelty to man from any other natural disaster. The war had become a weather report. Numbers, maps, charts, statistics, just another regular segment on the 9 o'clock news. For Callie and me, the desensitization must have been even worse. We were Americans. The Austral-Arctic War must have been the fifth or sixth war already in our lifetimes. At less than 250 years old, America had already fought in 51 wars. 51! That's a war every 5 years. We didn't even notice anymore. Hell, the U.S. front had just charged right over our heads, and we had no idea. No idea, and we'd been there. Before the Great Flood, here's what I knew about war. I knew war was bad. I figured it was sometimes necessary. I couldn't think of a time when it had done me any personal good, but I assumed it had and was. Assumed it must be making my life better in some indirect, unseen sort of way. Over the next 8 years or so, sailing the world, touring the drowned remains of major cities, Callie and I would come to appreciate the cost of making our lives better in some indirect, unseen sort of way. The cost of trusting without proof. But at the time of the Great Flood, we were as ignorant as everyone else in the world, save for a few top-ranking government officials, some military brass, and a scientist named Osmond Keenan, the architect of Australia's brand new, one-of-a-kind geography. For the rest of that day, and the next few days at least, Callie and I just sat, not talking to anyone, staring at the ocean. I assumed in her silence, Callie was contemplating what had happened to the world. I mean, unless she was just pissed off about not having her camera. I let her think I was contemplating the same. What had happened to the world, not the camera bit. In reality, I was biding my time until no one was looking, or at least not paying very much attention. I often had to wait until nightfall, and by then, I'd be sweating and running a fever, but shivering nonetheless, experiencing withdrawal from the hydrocodone. That's what the doctors gave me when they took away my Demerol drip, hydrocodone, aka Vicodin, aka the world's most popular narcotic pain pills. I popped one or two every time I got the chance, and I had a whole fake leg full of them.